that the one thing I said
This
to
is
the
who the media
Israelis
wants you to
when we were
believe
cabinet
won
with Bibi,
2020.
don't make the same mistake America made after bin Laden. There's no need to occupy anywhere. Go after the people who did the job. You may recall, I still get criticized for it, but I was totally opposed to the occupation and trying to unite Afghanistan. Once we got
No, you weren't.
bin Laden, we should have moved on because it was not in our. No one's ever going to unite that country. I've been over every inch of that, not every inch, the
No.
entirety from the poppy fields all the way to the north.
I highly
So
doubt
don't
he's
make the
been
same
over every
mistake
inch
we
of that
made.
country.
Don't
He's
think
only
that's what you should be
visited
doing. It's doubling
Afghanistan
down.
once or twice.
We'll help you find the bad guys, Sinwar and company. And all this criticism about I wouldn't provide when the weapons they needed. I'm not providing them 2,000-pound bombs. They cannot be used in Gaza or any populated area without causing great human tragedy and damage. But
See, I was
what
watching
happened
the live. I was
when you
watching the
had
live stream
the
earlier for
attack
the
on Israel
NATO summit, and
with
I just wanted
rockets
to record this last part because
and ballistic missiles.
Biden
I
is
was
nothing
able
but
to
a liar.
unite the Arab nations as well as you.
He is. He is a. He. It's kind of hard to put into words. Everyone wants. Well, he's too. He's old, and he didn't win 2020. He was illegally put into office. The Associated Press, Fox News, ABC, CNN, MSNBC, they are all guilty of election rigging. They called the election before the final votes were counted. These people, the Associated Press and everyone that kisses their ass, are the reason why this feeble-minded individual is in office. Why everyone's gas prices are skyrocketing. While everyone in the United States, in rural America at least, and other outlying areas, are suffering because the Associated Press, the Democrats, and their Republican allies would rather torture this country than take responsibility for screwing it up and just saying, okay, we effed up. This is a disaster. This is unimaginable. We're on the verge of World War III. We need a course correct. Put Trump back in office right now. But they're not going to do that, because that would require competency, common sense, and intelligence. And by the way, Biden's already flubbed 3 times in the NATO summit. First, he called Zelensky President Putin. Second, he said Vice President Trump. And third, he came out and said he had recently been in discussions with Golda Meir. Well, that would be good, except that Golda Meir was an Israeli politician who died in 1978. Now, he wasn't saying he talked to her then. He literally says and acts as if he was recently in a conversation with her this month. Dear liberals, this is who you think is better than Trump. This is how far gone you all are. You elect to put a feeble-minded individual named Joe Biden, who is also a racist and crooked, and think, well, at least he's not saying mean tweets on Twitter. At least he's not doing stuff like Trump. Go, any of you, get off your asses off a couch, go to a Trump rally, And you might realize that in Trump rallies, you have every mix of person. Not just my white nationalist, blah, blah, black, Hispanic, whites, and gays at Trump rallies. Who's the real unifier? Donald Trump? Or this man? This man who most of the time has a vacant damn look in his eyes, like he does not know what the hell is going on. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know what's happening. And we're just supposed to believe that, oh, yeah, he beat Trump in 2020. Bullshit. This man could not draw people to a crowd, to a rally. He could not inspire anyone. He could not keep anyone's attention. And Donald Trump can get, I don't know, 40,000 people or more, depending on stadium capacity, to a rally. You do some research beyond CNN and Fox. Trump won 2020 and was cheated out of office so they could get a feeble-minded, busted individual. Because I know YouTube has this really, really hard time allowing people to freely express themselves, because you got to curb the abusive language and you got to do this. And YouTube does not get to tell me what my content is, how to act, how to think, nothing. People who come to my channel who complain about the MLP stuff, I don't care. You don't get to tell me how to act. You don't like My Little Pony or the Brony fandom? Bye bye. I'm gonna keep making what I want. If that's Dragon Ball Z animations, it's Dragon Ball Z. If it's My Little Pony reactions or fan animations, it's that. It's whatever I damn well feel like making. We're going to go to this. Now, oh damn it. I hate when you can't skip ads during some videos.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she's not qualified to be president. So let's start there. Number one. The fact is that...
Yeah, you just heard that right. We're going to go back and rewatch this. Biden, in his brain fog, referred to Trump as the current vice president. But seriously, this is who and liberals and the media want all of you to believe was competent enough to beat Donald Trump with 80 million supposed votes in 2020. Pay attention.
Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there. Number one. The fact is that the consideration is that I think I'm the most qualified person to run for president. I beat him once, and I will beat him again. Secondly,
except Joe, it's not that easy. You didn't actually beat him the first time, and it's questionable. It's still questionable at best. The media doesn't want people talking about this because apparently, voter fraud didn't happen, and it's never happened in this country, according to these people. When even going back to the 1840s, voter fraud's been going on in the United States for 150 years or more. See, there was a mayoral candidate in Tehene, New York, who decided to bribe constituents in order to get himself re-elected into office. Would you like to know what year that happened? 1840. Yeah, and the media wants everyone to believe voter fraud and voter suppression's never taken place in the United States. And it's happened on both sides. I believe between 1986 and 1998, a number of Democrats and Republicans both tried to bribe their constituents in the same manner to get reelected into office by giving them just beer, free parking spaces, free tire changes, anything that would consider or count as a bribe in order to get back into their either local government, what be it representative or city council chair. Both times those people got busted for voter fraud, voter suppression, and voter intimidation, and they ended up in prison. But hey, Wall Street Journal, Associated Press, you gotta trust them. The voter fraud never happened. Let's finish watching this, and then I'm gonna go do I've got a Let's Play series for Grim Dawn going on top of modded Skyrim and Fallout 4 content.
The idea, I served in the Senate a long time.
Yeah,
The idea
50 years of doing nothing.
senators and congressmen running for office worry about the ticket is not unusual. And I might add, there are at least 5 presidents running or incumbent presidents who had lower numbers than I have now, later in the campaign. So there's a long way to go.
Yeah, a long way to go. Yeah, folks, that's who they want us to believe beat Donald Trump. Now, I'm surprised nobody else has. I don't know if anyone else has clipped it. Helen Mirren, like her politics or not, she's a great actress, did a really great biography movie on Golda Meir. It was just called Golda. And I think she did a wonderful job. Because Golda was one of either a few or many Israeli politicians who was in office during the Yom Kippur War from 1968 to 1974. Israel fought against the Syrian, Jordanian, and I believe Egyptian armies. Because it feels like it was a follow-up to the 7 Days War. And not many people know that. Nobody knows how to do research anymore. Everyone just blindly does this revisionist BS and believes anything that the mainstream media just dangles in front of them like car keys and stuff, instead of stopping, doing research, and going, wait, that doesn't make sense. Like this whole thing with, January 6th was an insurrection, according to the media and everyone that believes them. There's a little problem with that. If January 6th was an insurrection, where's the military? No, really. An insurrection is literally defined as an armed revolt through the use of military force. or giving the military an illegal order to seize control of the federal government. Or like, go all the way back to 1776 was an insurrection against British rule. British authority. The British were in control of the 13 colonies, and we rebelled against them. January 6th was not an insurrection, not even close. It was a good portion, at least, of Americans who felt discontent and felt the need to make that discontent heard in a non-violent manner. The problem is, there's actually been evidence that's come out that the FBI, CIA, and several other organizations had people embedded in the crowd, and that's why you saw half the crowd split off and go to the Capitol. Most went to the rally, went to the Capitol, took a tour, and then went home. And it's been released in the January 6th footage that the corporate press didn't want to show the rest of the American people. Hold on. This one nobody gets. This is the government website with all the stuff released so far split into 5 pages. You can go view this yourself. Do you see a violent mob attacking people? They even have this air thing was circulated here. I mean, there's no sound, obviously, which I agree with. Oh wow! Look, it was a violent insurrection. There were police officers harmed, and really, this was but this was before the so-called breach. January 6th was not an insurrection. The media lied. They have the House Committee has the website. I'll include it in the link to this video. Go watch the damn footage for yourselves. It's split into like 5 pages of like varying video lengths. This one's 9 minutes 58 seconds. There's clips that are 2 minutes, 3, 4, 5, up, you name it. And we're just supposed to blindly believe that, oh, it was a violent the entire thing was a violent insurrection. They only showed the aftermath. The January 6th Select Committee only showed a snippet. Joseph Goebbels and Hermann Goering would be proud of them for gaslighting the American public into believing something that actually didn't happen, had a better explanation, but they didn't give it to you. Because the mainstream press wants the American people to remain stupid and ignorant while they throw us all off a cliff like lemmings. I actually used to play that game when I was a kid. Where I'd be playing the lemmings game. You build stuff, and actually, my parents, when I had that, they were like yelling, "Don't do that, don't do that," because I built a stairway up over one of the edges, and all the poor lemmings went off and down into the pit below. Now, if anyone wants me to go through all 5 pages of the January 6th footage that's been released, I will. Does that look like violent insurrection to any of you? No. It's a bunch of people. It's the Capitol Police on one side, a bunch of people just milling about. But just kind of telling people, like, let's bring it all in, hurry up.